I just want to remind Mr. President that what is happening in the Sahel is only the consequence of what was done in Libya. I want to tell you that if it weren't for Africans, there wouldn't be a France today. We are connected. We are connected. We are connected. Stop saying that you came to help us. No, because terrorism doesn't only threaten Mali.
There are bright minds and there are also investors in Africa. We are already innovating in Africa. And if this relationship we envision is not co-constructive, we don't want it. So it's over with expressions like Save Africa. Let's help develop Africa. There are so many miserable people over there. It's over, Mr. President. So, if we truly must live together, simply because we absolutely have to, it will be in a state of interdependence, I repeat. But above all else, it must be in mutual respect and a deep appreciation for one another. This is the only way forward.
Seriously, these Sahel people are bold. They are much bolder than these Anglophone countries. Nigeria, Ghana, we are just making too much tokens. We are not approaching these people. We are not telling them the actual truth. Emmanuel Macron, look, we don't need your intervention. And whichever country you people visited to help, this country is now suffering. Another brave Sudanese man confronted the UAE Prime Minister over the alleged sponsorship of the killing in Sudan by the RSF.
Stop killing Sudanese! Emirates and UAE, they're killing Sudanese people! UAE is killing my people in my country! Stop killing my people! Emiratis! You're killing my people! I'm Sudan! You're killing my people!
So I love that boldness from that Sudanese man. And if it continues this way, if every African youth can start seeing beyond the walls, maybe Africa will find its way on the right path. But first, as we are dealing with the leaders that lead our leaders, we should first deal with our leaders. This was the moment that I was waiting for. Like I always tell you that some other African countries are learning their lessons. And today I am a proud member of Africa for what this Burkina Faso and Malian did to the French President Emmanuel Macron. This was the moment Burkina Faso delegates confronted Macron at the African-France Summit, when other parts of Africa are embracing the imperialists. The Sahelian people are living up to reality. And all this came when African-France Summit happened. And citizens of Burkina Faso and Malian decided to question the French president, telling them, why are you coming to intervene in our country? Can you look at Libya and say what you did? You gave them the power that they deserved. Can you look at Afghanistan and say the same? So we reject your help. Allow us. Don't interfere in our affairs, because we are capable of managing our own affairs. Like the first president of Africa, the first president of Ghana, the man who wanted to unite the entire African country, the Millennium Man, the Pan-Africanist. Dr. Osagyefo Kwame Nkrumah said, the black man is capable of managing its own affairs. So they are saying today, Africa can manage its own affairs. But yet, not only this Burkina Faso and Mali did make African proud. A Sudanese also confronted the UAE Prime Minister, shouting that, stop killing my people. Stop killing my people. It seems all of a sudden, the African youth are finding their voices. The African youth are looking for a way to make sure that they are part of governance. And they want to make sure that what the old ages, the pensioners cannot say, cannot do, they will do for African country. Are you part? Will you be part? And do you love to be part? Fighting for Africa. Together as one. Nigerians are already shouting. Kenyans have already begun fighting against their own government. Zimbabweans are doing the same thing. It has been so many times done by Ghanaians, except South Africa. They are fighting against their own black Africans. But the rest of African countries are fighting against the imperialists and the neocolonialism. So are you going to be part of it? Are you going to fight against the neocolonialism and imperialism? And can you rate these ladies? The questions and the answers and the suggestions they give to Emmanuel Macron. I'll give them 10 over 10. That was too perfect. This is the worst that every African who cares for Africa is looking for. But tell me, how will you rate them? And are you part of the Africans who are not finding their voices? Tell me under the comment section if you're new on this channel. Subscribe, like, and share for your brothers to know that this is the platform that speaks for only Africa and Africa alone. This is the Eye of Africa. My name is Maxi Billion on the Naked Truth at Old Burger Trends. Make sure you do subscribe. There's an ongoing summit, which is Africa-France Summit. Emmanuel Macron, the French president, was there. And he was taking questions from some other African countries, people that, oh, tell me what you think, tell me what you think. He didn't know that the ladies who came, they came prepared. They came with some ammunitions to destroy and conquer, to make sure that what their grandfathers couldn't say, they would say it in simple terms and in simple words. So the first was a Malian, beautiful lady, stood up and said, look, we the Sahel people know what we are doing. We do not need your intervention. We do not care about your country. So we don't want you to care about your country. We can manage our own resources. We can manage our own people. Stop interfering in our governance.
30 seconds. I just want to remind Mr. President that what is happening in the Sahel is only the consequence of what was done in Libya. That intervention in Libya where you forgot. When I speak of you, I am not talking about you personally, I am talking about your position. You forgot about the existence of the African Union. Mr. President, as you like to say, we are in Mali to help Mali. If we hadn't come to the Sahel, there wouldn't be a government in Mali right now. I want to tell you that if it weren't for Africans, there wouldn't be a France today. We are connected. We are connected. We are connected. Stop saying that you came to help us. No, because terrorism doesn't only threaten Mali. You are threatened as well. Stop making us feel guilty by putting us in the position of victims.
But Mom, I'm not making you feel guilty.
Mr. President, I haven't finished.
I'm not making you feel guilty. I'm trying to actually restore a reciprocal and respectful dialogue.
Yes.
We weren't there just for our own interests when we arrived in Mali in 2013, that's a fact. However, what you said about Libya, I've said it several times as president, I agree with what you said. In Libya, we did not respect the sovereignty of a people, and that was a mistake.
All right, thank you for acknowledging that. And if you recognize that, you'll see that what is happening in the Sahel is only the consequence of that intervention. So you are in the Sahel to correct the mistake you made in Libya. And in trying to correct those mistakes, you are making other mistakes. Mr. President, I remind you that foreign military intervention has never solved a problem. What is Libya like today? What is Afghanistan like today? So military intervention is not going to fix things. I don't want my country to end up like Libya. Take responsibility, and above all, stop saying that you are here to help us. No, you are not here to help us. We are in this together. We have a common enemy and we are fighting it together. And finally, these recent exchanges, these last few days between you and the Malian authorities, it's just a disgrace.
Like, wow. Wow. Emmanuel Macron was shocked because at some point, he was trying to interfere. But the lady was so bold, firm, and she made sure that every word she was supposed to say, she would vomit all out. before she should stop speaking. So Emmanuel Macron has to pay attention and listen. And when she was done, the next that happened was more than hurricane. This was a Burkina Faso. This woman also said, look, I do not get it. Why you people think that the military intervention will solve African problem? Did you look at what you did in Libya? Libya is now deserted. Nobody wants Libya. Nobody wants to go to Libya. But it is what you did to Gaddafi, telling the Libyan people that you are coming to save them, rescue them, give them the freedom and the democracy that they needed. Today, ask them if they would choose to have the autocratic rule of Gaddafi, or they would prefer this democracy that they are enjoying. That without African countries, France will not exist. And that was the moment that I said, wow.
My name is Rayimwende Elda Kwama. I am proud to be African. I am Burkinabe, and I am truly a person of great integrity. Thank you. So, there is absolutely no need for me to specify that all of my remarks today will be guided by truth, by sincerity, and by complete frankness. Without any filter, Mr. President. My point will revolve around all these perceptions. And if we are to talk about perceptions and these false concepts that are incompatible with the reality of our people, we must especially address the outdated, unsuitable, and demeaning vocabulary that still appears in your speeches and in those of your institutions when you speak to Africa or when you raise funds to help Africa. Among these expressions, there is one that always catches my attention and in the end bothers me. Development aid. Mr. President, aid, as long as it does not help, as long as it does not lead to freeing oneself from aid, as Thomas Sankara said, must be done away with. Because aid, that kind of aid, makes one a slave. This kind of aid prevents people, populations from making it on their own, through their own abilities, because they are capable of it, Mr. President, and you should know that. The best is within each of us, no matter our origin. So I will continue by quoting here the late Joseph Kizervo, an African intellectual. Surely you know him, you read a lot. Isn't that right, Mr. President? He said, and I quote, "You don't develop people, people develop themselves." End of quote. So if you can't develop people, you also can't help them develop. Development aid has been circulating in Africa for nearly a century. It doesn't work. You should know that Africa will develop itself through its local potential and that of its diaspora, and certainly in interdependence with other nations on the planet, but above all, through healthy collaborations. I repeat, healthy, transparent, constructive. There are bright minds and there are also investors in Africa. We are already innovating in Africa. And if this relationship we envision is not co-constructive, we don't want it. So is it over? So it's over with expressions like Save Africa. Let's help develop Africa. There are so many miserable people over there. It's over, Mr. President. So, if we truly must live together, simply because we absolutely have to, it will be in a state of interdependence, I repeat. But above all else, it must be in mutual respect and a deep appreciation for one another. This is the only way forward. Mr. President, you wanted this summit to be different. You called on us, civil society, fully aware that all we can do is say what we think. You are a president, you can make decisions, so let everyone take responsibility at this summit. Mr. President, I'm going to propose some concrete actions to you. Do you know? I think you do. The AFD, the French Development Agency, will soon turn 80 years old. This is an opportunity to do things differently. Start by changing the name and change the substance as well. As has been said so well, we want partnerships that are clear, that are transparent, where we too can speak, where we have a say, where we can also take action and bring both intellect and financial resources to the discussion table. I will finish. I will finish because I really enjoy exchanging with Mr. President. But I will finish. And I invite you to visualize this with me. If the relationship between African countries and France were a cooking pot, know that this pot is very dirty. It is stained by only a superficial acknowledgement of the abuses committed. It is stained by corruption. It is stained by a lack of transparency. It is stained by demeaning language. It is dirty, Mr. President.
Seriously, these Sahel people are bold. They are much bolder than these Anglophone countries. Nigeria, Ghana, we are just making too much tokens. We are not approaching these people. We are not telling them the actual truth. This lady looks straight into the eye of the French president, Emmanuel Macron. Look, we don't need your intervention. And whichever country you people visited to help, this country is now suffering. The lack of Iraq, Afghanistan, Libya, Syria, Haiti, you can name it. Currently, Iran is suffering under the same disguise as we are coming to help you. We don't need your help. We need your cooperation. We need business relationship. We need partnership. That you cannot develop the people can develop themselves. And this is the quote that I loved the most. And sarcastically, she said, look, I know you read a lot. So you have heard of this man who is quoting this, and I unquote it. You cannot develop people. The people can develop themselves. So Burkina Faso, the Malians, the Nigerians can develop themselves. Africa, as a continent, we can develop ourselves. We don't need their aid. We don't need their charity. Because this charity and aid, this grants, this loans, these funds, only goes to the politicians and few other crook guys. But the broader people who, at the end of the day, have to sacrifice their gold, their diamonds, their bauxite to replace this donation and the funds, they get nothing. So we don't need you. Don't come to our continent telling us you are going to give us aid. When it comes to our continent, we have gold, diamond, we have cocoa, we have bauxite, we have timber, we have manganese, we have lithium. Negotiate, buy from us. Don't take what it belongs to me for free. And then later on tell me that you are handing me some small money to go and check something or go and eat something. So this is exactly what this lady was telling the French president, Emmanuel Macron, that we do not need France to interfere or intervene for us. Not just these brave ladies. Another brave Sudanese man confronted the UAE Prime Minister over the alleged sponsorship of the killing in Sudan by the RSF.
Stop killing Sudanese! Emirates and UAE, they're killing Sudanese people! UAE is killing my people in my country! Stop killing my people! Emiratis! You're killing my people! I'm Sudan! You're killing my people! You're killing Sudanese people! Down!
Your people. Motherfucker, black bitch.
You said black! You said black!
Shut the up. You said black. Shut the
Control keeper, I'm in Crises.
What did you say? Respect yourself. You say black. Respect yourself.
You're killing my people in my country! You're killing Sudanese in my country! Stop killing Sudanese! Emirates and UAE, they're killing Sudanese people. They're killing my people in my country. Party, UAE, Mohammed bin Zayed, they're killing my people in my country.
The man on the street with his bodyguards all over him, and this Sudanese guy all of a sudden pop up from nowhere, started shouting, "Stop killing my people. You are killing my people. Stop killing my people." There was a bodyguard who approached him to stop saying those words. He said, "No, he's killing my people. So he should stop killing his people." Now, it seems that all of a sudden, the African youth cannot see beyond the walls. They cannot see beyond the lies. They see the truth in the lies of the leaders that lead them and the leaders that lead their leaders. So they can look straight into your eyes and tell you the truth. These ladies looked straight in the eyes of Emmanuel Macron and told him the truth. Look, we don't need your intervention or interference. Leave us alone. This Sudanese guy is also telling the UAE Prime Minister, stop sponsoring the killing of my people. So desist from it. We don't want you near our country. Let us be. We can find peace on our own. Because it is believed that the ISIS, that you know, the Al Qaeda, the Boko Haram, the Al Shabaab in Sudan, Somalia, the jihadists, they are all sponsored by some NATO, some USA. And this is a known fact. The NATO said this, that look, we funded ISIS, we were giving them money, Al Qaeda rather, because we wanted them to fight some war for us. And when they were done, we couldn't stop them anymore because they have the guns now. So they started making demands. And they started having their own quest. The same thing US have also created ISIS, Boko Haram. So the same way UAE is also being accused of sponsoring Al Shabaab. So all this is the reason why Africa is destabilized. And according to this Sudanese, look, this should stop. So I love that boldness from that Sudanese man. And if it continues this way, if every African youth can start seeing beyond the walls, maybe Africa will find its way on the right path. But first, as we are dealing with the leaders that lead our leaders, we should first deal with our leaders. Like Zimbabweans are doing. If Emerson Mnangagwa want to go for to 2030, and you have problem with that, demonstrate. Make sure he finds himself hot. Make the country ungovernable for him. Make him uncomfortable. If you are Nigerian and you think you voted massively for a particular candidate, but the NEC gave that election results the merit to another candidate, make the country ungovernable for that person. If you're a Ghanaian, you think, look, this is not how things are supposed to be done. Demonstrate, make noise, be loud. Let them hear your voice because there are strength in numbers. And as it stands now, it seems that almost every African youth is waking up, except my Nkwerekwere, my Abahambi, my South Africans, who are refusing to wake up. They are rather fighting the black foreigners instead of their own government. But the rest of the African countries, Kenyans, were doing the same thing. We have seen people in Uganda fight against Museveni. We have seen people in Ethiopia fight against their government. Those in Namibia, those in Lesotho. Everybody's fighting certain war against the government because the government must sit right. And if they do the right things, they will not need to be puppets. It won't be puppets for the white men. It won't happen. So we want to stop that. And how do we stop that? Can we keep on making loud noise? Can we keep on showing them that we are here? You have to feel our presence. You have to hear our voices. And you have to do what will be good for us and for our future. Can we do that? Should we do that? And when should we make this bigger and better? But the Burkina Faso, the Malian, how they spoke to the French President Emmanuel Macron, are you proud of them? And if you have more of this voice, can African youths African youth say we are on the right path. Can we see that? Tell me under the comment section if you're new to the channel. Subscribe, like, and share for your brothers to also know that here is the platform that speaks for the African and the African youth. The eye of Africa. This is Naked Truth on Oboga Trends. And my name is Mansi Billion. Bye-bye.